Senator Patrick, I'm going to begin by reading back to you an email that you sent me on October 24th, and you invited me to ask you about it today. This was sent at 1:30 in the morning. I know how much you like your late-night emails.
Yes.
I said it, this is the email to me. I said in early September on the air that Romney would win with 300 electoral votes plus, and had some fun being the official first media outlet to call the race for Romney. That was before the first debate. You can remind me on November 8th if I was right or wrong. I really do think he's going to win by a large electoral margin, but many of the states will be close. What happened?
You need to learn that you can turn that off.
Yeah, I was wondering, did I hit the send button on that?
You did.
You didn't respond. I don't think you
about 10
responded.
o'clock,
I didn't.
When the news comes on, just reach over there and let that be your signal and just turn that thing
off. What happened?
Well, I think I was right in that it was going to be close, and I thought several of the states would be very close, and
they were.
And he would win. And at the end of the day, those states were close. They went the other direction.
Right.
And instead of 300 votes going Romney's way, they went Obama's way. But the nation is obviously very divided. I think there were 3 million votes out of 115 million. And whether Romney had won or now that Obama has won, both men should recognize that the country is divided and that the country is looking for answers and solutions,
right,
and not gridlock, and we need to work our way out of the problems we have, and I hope the president does that.
Senator, you're calling for compromise between the Republicans and Democrats.
I would like to think that Washington would work as well as the Texas Senate works most of the time.
Senator Watson, let me ask the question of you a little bit differently. Did Governor Romney lose or did President Obama win?
First of all, while I agree that there is a need for the compromise and the need for the ability to reach across aisles, I think that's one of the issues and problems. I'm not sure I completely agree with Senator Patrick that it was as close as he says it is. I know that that's a lot of the discussion now, is to try to say it was a lot closer, but I think the president won. As opposed, although I think that there were some things that Governor Romney did that helped in that regard. But let me say that this way. If you look at what happened in other elections, say senatorial elections, and who won in some of those U.S. Senate elections, I think that's a sign that President Obama was winning and that it wasn't just about the other side losing. However, I do think that the great debate that seems to be going on in the Republican Party and the division in the Republican Party itself about how it wants to approach things probably hamstrung Governor Romney to some degree. And it made it more difficult for him. Him getting out of the primaries the way he had to put him in a position where I think when you look at some of the outcomes of this last election cycle, it put him in a situation where he was not he was too far to the right in some instances, and I think that cost him.
Senator, in fact, what Senator Watson says is true. On the other hand, much of the Wednesday morning or Thursday morning quarterbacking has not been that Governor Romney was too far to the right, but that he was actually not adequately conservative, that he was really more of a moderate who was masquerading as somebody who was conservative, and that was the reason he lost. I wonder how you feel about that.
I do think he was not my first choice. He wasn't my second choice. But once you go to the general election,
we agree on that too.
You support the team, and the focus is, where is Texas? And that's what I'm focused on, because we now have a session coming up.
Right.
We have our challenges and our opportunities in Texas. I know where Texas is, and Texas is very conservative.
Right.
Texas elected great Latino members like Mr. Villalba up in Texas, and J.M. Lozano, and Stephanie Carter's coming back, and James White won his primary. So we have brought minorities into our party. We are very conservative on the issues.
Yeah.
We want all the statewides, as we continue to do. So when it comes, the rest of the country may be a little confused. I can't think for other folks, but I know how the people think in Senate District 7. I know how the people think in Texas. And in Texas, they like conservatives governing Texas, and that's why they keep sending us back in large numbers.